Hi, it's me, Amina. I spent over $40,000 on my accounting and finance master's degree just to realize that the secrets of the wealthy are pretty simple if you strip down the jargon. Welcome to the series where I teach you for free exactly what I learned for a fortune sitting in the lecture halls. And today, the topic of discussion that we cannot ignore is the surge of prices of gold and what it means for us, for an average person living the life. You've probably seen the news, gold hitting its maximum, gold hitting a record high of $5,245 per ounce, because we cannot ignore it's everywhere now. You might think that I don't care, I'm not a pirate, I don't have gold, I actually don't know what to do with this information. But I will tell you why you should care, even if you don't have gold or even if you're not a pirate. Gold is basically the check engine light for the world economy. When it glows brightly, it means that there is stuff happening underneath that impacts us. Me, an average person living my own life. It impacts my grocery bills, it impacts my rent, it impacts my savings. This is exactly why you should care about it. Let me use my fancy degree to break it down for you, what it means and what simple steps we can take to make sure we are fine with it. In university, in grad school, we call gold a safe haven asset. Think of a global economy like a massive cruise ship. Usually, in a normal condition economy, everybody is so confident that we're doing so great, they're going and buying stocks, shares of companies. But when there is an iceberg warning, everyone stops buying shares and rushes for the life rafts. Gold in our economy is the life raft. I remember the 2008 financial crisis. If you don't know much about it, what happened was that banks were collapsing. People were terrified about their earnings. People were terrified about their savings. People were terrified about their money in general, that it would disappear, that wouldn't be able to buy anything. What happened then? Where did people put their money? Into gold. The price of gold at the time surged from $800 to over $1.9 an ounce in 2011. Within the span of 3 years, the price of gold increased because no one was confident in the stocks. No one was confident in the economy, and everybody rushed to buy gold because people wanted something physical. People wanted something that they are confident in. Stocks, we don't see. What is it? We can't touch it. It's not physical. Okay, in comparison with gold. Gold, we know what gold is. Gold has been there for forever. Gold, we can touch gold. We know what gold is. Something that they can touch and not just a promise on the screen, like the stocks. And a high price of gold today simply means that big investors in the market, big guys that have a lot of money, they're choosing to buy gold rather than something else. Because essentially, the more gold you buy in the market, the faster the price goes up. And this is the second part, the part that hits closer to home, inflation. So you've seen the price of coffee going from $3 to $5 in the span of a year. Me personally, I used to pay 3.5 euros for coffee. Now I'm paying 4.2 euros per coffee. This is how inflation is targeting me specifically. I need more money now to buy the same coffee as I was buying last year. But what does gold do in these situations? Gold preserves its value. Gold is something that can hold its value. Gold hedges us, as we say it in the books. How does it protect us? In the 1970s, the US had crazy inflation due to oil crisis. A dollar lost its value fast. At the start of the decade, gold was around $35 an ounce. By the end, it was over $800. So it protected people's purchasing power. So if you had gold at the time, we're talking about 1970s. I wasn't born yet, okay? But in theory, if you are the person who were alive at the time and you had gold, this is how you would have protected yourself, by having gold. And the current gold rally is a massive, massive signal for us that the value of our paper money is shrinking globally, not just your own money. It's everyone's money's getting smaller in front of own eyes. So this is the information that we should be aware of. Okay? Because once we're aware, we can do something about it. Now, who are the biggest players in the market right now? It's not jewels. It's not individual investors. It's the central banks. It's the central banks, the guys who print the world's money, want to protect their money. They are buying gold in massive amounts by the ton to reduce their reliance on the US dollar and the physical money. Imagine you have all your money in one checking account. To be safe, you diversify and open a savings account. Okay? That's what countries are doing with their money, with their reserves. They're moving a chunk out of dollars and into gold for stability. When the world's most powerful financial institutions are diversifying away from paper to gold, that tells you everything that you need to know about the underlying trust in the system. Today, we're not talking about the issues of the system. We're talking about how we can benefit from knowing on what's happening. I understand you might get anxious or worried or not knowing what to do and panic. So first thing is not to panic, because we're all on the same boat essentially. But in the textbooks, as they say, the more information you have, the more informed decisions you can make. So take this video as getting this new information that you needed to make more informed decisions. And this is not me saying that you should go and buy gold directly with your next paycheck. No, what I'm saying is you need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to what is happening in the world. A surge in gold prices is a signal of that something's happening in the world economy. It's a signal for us to take action. The more information we have, the more prepared we can be for things. A high gold price is a reminder to us, according to our past experience in the 1970s, in the 2008 financial crisis, that we need to be smart with our own money, we need to be ready and prepare for uncertainty. So how do we prepare for uncertainty? One way, the basic one way would be is to have an emergency fund. Now is the time to take seriously our emergency fund situation. What is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is when you have 3 to 6 months of your salary or the money that you need to live per month. So for example, if it's enough for you to cover all your basic needs, including rent and food and electricity on all your bills, $1,000, it means you should have at least $3,000 at least in your emergency fund sitting, and you're not touching it, and it's sitting there, but you are sure that, God forbid, if you lose your job, you are ready for this uncertain situation. God forbid, if something else happens, you are ready for this situation. Now it's the time to take our emergency fund situation very seriously. The good thing about this cash is that it acts as a defense. It gives you peace of mind when the economy gets rocky. That's it from me for today. Let's not be jealous of pirates having a lot of gold and them becoming rich, because this is not us. All we want to do is to give our minds peace by taking care of our personal finance and taking our budget seriously in 2026. And I hope you liked and enjoyed this video. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to be continuing with this series because I'm enjoying it so much. Stay tuned for the next one and make sure you don't miss it. Bye!